Okay, so hi everyone. Are you guys able to hear me? Just drop a yes or no in the chat. Guys, just quickly drop a yes or no. Everyone who is able to hear me at YouTube as well as at Unacademy, guys, drop a yes or no in the chat. Cool. Just a second. Okay, so Saurabh says yes. Good evening, Saurabh. How are you? Ashutosh also says yes. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hello, Ankit. How are you? Okay, so Tanuj also says yes. Cool. That makes sense. Okay. So guys, we are going to start in a couple of minutes. So let's just wait for a few more people to join and then we are going to start. Right, till then let me share my screen and so that we can at least do the setup. Hello Piyush, how are you? Okay, so is everyone able to see the writing pad? Is everyone able to see the writing pad? Okay, Ankit, what happened exactly? Can you please explain? If possible, I can maybe guide you on that. Okay, so today we have Kunal with us. Kunal will be the teaching assistant for today's session. So Kunal, can you quickly share the Unacademy's link on YouTube as well? The Unacademy session link on YouTube as well. We will start in 5 7 minutes, right? So guys, Kunal will be the teaching assistant for today. So me along with Kunal will be going through your doubts. So at any point of time, if you are facing any kind of an issue or any doubt, feel free to ask that, right? Kunal, please share the Unacademy link on YouTube. So, guys, if you want to join directly on Unacademy so that you can participate in the quizzes and everything as well, so you can just follow that link that will be shared by Kunal shortly. Yes, MR, just wait for a few minutes. Uh, Kunal will be sending that. Okay. How's everyone? How's everyone doing? How many of you guys watched the last part? कितने लोगों ने कल वाली क्लास देखी थी? Part 1 of the FAANG micro course. How many of you guys watched that? Okay, so Saurabh said he watched it. What about rest of the people? ओके रजत ने कह रहा है लास्ट नहीं देखा ओके कूल रजत सो इन द yesterday's class we discussed few problems around graphs and a very good tricky array based problem. Ashish, I am able to see the students messages. Maybe you can refresh it once. Okay, so Ritik says me. Okay, cool. Sure, Rajat, definitely. So guys, today is the second class for the FANG micro course. Let me stop the screen share once. Right. So today is the second class of the FANG micro course, right? So we in this micro course we are going to discuss a lot of things around the interview-based problems that are asked in top big tech giants, right? So most of you guys might be aiming for those tech giants only as your future career as a software engineer or a full stack engineer or something like that. So in this micro course, we are going to discuss all the medium to harder level problems. We will be focusing more on hard level problems. Why I picked harder level problems? Because what I can see in the current scenario is you can easily get access to the easy level problems, but when it comes to the harder level problems, students do fumble a bit. They face a bit of issues on that part. So what we have started is, in this three-class micro course, we'll be discussing around various topics, not only one, but we will be taking two, three different topics like graphs, heaps, dynamic programming, and a lot more, arrays, strings, everything. And we'll be discussing mixed problems so that you can get an interview perspective on how you can expect questions that will be coming to you in interviews. I'll be giving you tips along with that, that you guys can definitely use in your interviews in order to crack them. Does that make sense? Cool. So let me start with my introduction. So for all those people who have joined for the very first time, I'm Sanket Singh, currently working as a software development engineer at LinkedIn. I'm a former software developer at Interview Bit, as well as a former product engineer at Coding Blogs. In 2019, I cracked the Google Summer of Code under Berkman Klein Center at Harvard University. When I graduated from college, I got offers from LinkedIn, Sprinkler, Dunzo, Works Application Singapore, InterviewBit, Grofers, as well as Splashlearn. Currently, I'm the number one educator in Unacademy's competitive programming track. I was a former research intern at the Indian Space Research Organization. I've taught more than 7,500 programmers in data structures, algorithms, fundamental of computer science, and competitive programming. And the students taught by me are working in big tech giants like Amazon, Walmart, SanDisk, etc. I got rank one in a few of the CodeChef long challenges, as well as won the Infosys Digital Mechathon. Right. Mohit, I cracked the GSOC in year 2019. So this was a short introduction of mine. So what's the agenda behind this FAANG course was? So me, along with all the educators who are working currently in the top tech giants, and also teaching you guys here at Unacademy. So we have some experience corresponding to what to expect in interviews. So when I graduated, I got some seven, eight offers from different companies, right? So I have a bit of experience on what to expect in interviews, how to react to different situations, what are the tips that one should follow, because I also got rejections from a lot of companies. I also got rejections only by just applications. My applications got rejected. I got rejected in few of the middle rounds, so on and so forth. So we have a lot of experience, because experience doesn't only comes by getting selected in anything. Rejection also gives you a lot of experience on that. So I got eight odd offers, but I also got a lot of rejections as well. So what I will try to do in this micro course is to give you some tips around things, to give you some thinking methodology, that how you can think of a problem based on some previous knowledge that you might already be having, because you all might be preparing for companies. So it gives a sense of thinking, that how from a prior preparation based knowledge you can crack new problems, so on and so forth. So this is going to be a fun journey. We have already discussed one class on this yesterday. Definitely do check that out if you have not checked that out yet. And today is the second class, and the third class will be followed on Thursday, this Thursday, right? Sure. So Rajat is asking few tips around resume. Sure, Rajat. In between the lecture, I will definitely give you a few tips around resume. If you guys want, I can definitely share you or show you my resume if you guys want. That can also give you some sense around that. Does that make sense, guys? Guys on YouTube, drop a yes or no if the agenda is clear to everyone. Cool. Okay. So let me share the screen again. Okay. So we'll just wait for 2 more minutes and then we'll start. Right. Till then, if anyone is having any kind of query, do. Cool. Makes sense. Okay, so let's just start. Let's just start. So we are again going to solve few problems around different topics today as well. So let us just start with the first problem, right? Okay. Main intended criteria for GSOC is that you should be enrolled in some university course. So I don't think professionals can participate in GSOC, right? Cool. So what the question is, you have A sorted list. You have a sorted list of prime numbers, including one, including one as well. So you will be having a sorted list of prime numbers, and you will be having a one inside that as well, right? Does that make sense? Okay. Now, for every p less than q in the list, of primes as p by q. Fair enough? Sure, Anil, I'll get your doubt. Just let me finish the problem statement and then I'll answer your doubt, right? So you have been given a sorted list of prime numbers including one. तो आप लोगों को एक sorted list मिलेगी prime numbers की जिसमें one भी added होगा. Now for all the prime numbers p less than q in the list, हम लोग एक term define करेंगे fraction. We'll be defining a term fraction of primes which will be defined as p by q, right? Find the kth smallest fraction. Does that make sense? So let's say that you have an array like 1, 2, 3, 5, and you will be given a number k, let's say equals to 3. So the answer should be 2 by 5. Does that make sense, guys? Is this point making sense? Right. And the tag for the problem is hard. This is a hard level problem. Think about it. Let me answer a few of the queries that came into the chat. So Rajat is asking how 2 by 5. So guys, if you will see what is the kth smallest fraction here, which is the kth smallest fraction. So which is the first smallest fraction or the overall smallest fraction? Can I say 1 by 5 is the smallest? Then what will be the second? What will be the third? Think about it. Fair enough? Guys, is this point making sense? Okay. Think about the problem, guys. Consider the fact that this problem has been given to you in an interview. What you could have done, what strategy you should apply if this problem was given to you in an interview, maybe. Nishar, is the example clear? Smallest fraction will be 1 by 5, right? Then after that, the next smallest fraction will be 1 by 3. The next smallest fraction will be 2 by 5. And this is the third smallest fraction. Okay. So Anil is saying sometimes, Anil, I would say if you will try to submit questions on online judges, then it can get improved. So try to participate in contests in Code Forces or CodeChef. This will help you to build some analytical skills based on the fact that whatever corner cases you need to check, you should definitely check it before submitting to the code, so on and so forth. So do some dry runs, do review your code, and do participate in contest. This can definitely help you in getting rid of this issue. Make sense? Saurabh is asking for cyber field. Saurabh, don't think I'm the right person to guide you in cyber field. Uh, I can definitely guide you for software engineering, full stack engineering, and things like that. Yes, Vishesh, you are on the right track. Yes, so Ankit has asked the best question. So, guys, most of the time in interviews, the interviewer will be just giving you a question and a sample example. You should definitely ask for constraints. I also told you in the last class, do ask for constraints because crossed out or eliminated because those things won't be working in the given constraints. Does that make sense? So the length of array can be, let's say, as big as 10 raised to the power 5. Fair enough? This one making sense? And k will be within the range. No, Rahul, it's just that C++ is a bit faster and codes can be very short in C++ when compared to Java. Thanks, Rudraj. Vivek, not exactly, but we can get some intuitions around that. Think about it, guys. Take good 2 minutes. This is a very, very important problem, and a very good implementation will be given for this. I will give you the whole intuition that for the very first time, if you would have been given this problem in an interview, and if you have prepared well, but you have never seen this question for the very uh, someone says we will create a map of list of p by q. So what will be the time complexity in that case? And do you think it will work in the given constraints? How you will find that with it? Rajat, I don't think this will help a lot. Vishesh, maybe we can do it with one. Guys, is the problem clear to everyone? सब लोगों को प्रॉब्लम समझ में आ रही है नहीं आ रही है? ये बताओ सब लोग पहले फटाफट से यस या नो स्पैम करो यार चैट में अगर प्रॉब्लम समझ में आ रही काफी इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है अब्दुल से इज रिपीट बिल्कुल अब्दुल रिपीट कर देते हैं सो व्हाट द प्रॉब्लम से इज दैट आप लोगों को एक सॉर्टेड लिस्ट ऑफ प्राइम नंबर्स मिलेगी यू विल बी गिवन अ सॉर्टेड लिस्ट ऑफ प्राइम नंबर्स इंक्लूडिंग वन एज वेल मतलब उसमें कुछ प्राइम नंबर्स होंगे और वन भी होगा और ये सॉर्टेड फॉर्म में होगा फेयर इनफ you have to now we define a term fraction of primes as p by q where p and q are some primes chosen within this array and p is less than q, right? So it will be always p will be less than q and p by q will be the form of the fraction. You have to find the kth smallest fraction. आपको kth smallest fraction निकालनी है. So जैसे यहाँ पे अगर आप सारी smallest fraction लिखोगे तो 1/5 will be the smallest, then you will be having 2/3, then you will be having 2/5. So this is the third smallest fraction because k is equals to 3. Fair enough? Do you think the given primes, because there is a list of primes that have been given to you, do you think this will hinder your binary search based approach? Dipanshu, kth smallest means what is the second smallest maybe or third smallest, right? Let's say you have fractions like this 1/5, 2/3, 2/5. Which is the second smallest? This is the second smallest, right? Arrange them in the second or sorted order, and whatever index you get for k, that will be the kth smallest. Make sense? Sorry, not 2/3, it's 1/3. Yeah, my bad. So 1/5, 1/3, then 2/5. Right. So this is the first smallest, this is the second smallest, and this is the third smallest. So this is what you wanted to get. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I didn't see 1/3 as well. So this will be the order. You can have more fractions, but we just want to get kth largest. Okay, so Mohit says first we have to divide all the elements by the largest number and pick the kth index element. Mohit, do you think this will work? I don't think this will exactly work. Astosh, how you will apply that? Pushpakant, not 1/2, it will be 2/5 because 1/2 is greater than 2/5. Pair, how you'll find a pair? There are some set of primes and the length of the array is 10 raised power 5. Do you think your approach will work in the given time frame? Guys, the problem name is kth smallest fraction. Yes, Emlyn, you are on the right track. I'll explain also how you can visualize that. Sayed, what part you are not able to understand? Rahul, it is already written that it will be a sorted list. So what do you think it should start with? Kind of, but it will be having some variations. Rahul Pawar says insert all fractions. So Rahul, the length of the array is 10 is per 5. To create all possible fraction, you need n square time. It won't be submitted. Okay. Okay. That's great. MLM. Cool. Let's just see. So, for example, let's just consider a scenario that this problem was given to you in an interview. मान के चलो कि ये problem तुम्हें interview में given है, ठीक है? अब now we are considering the fact that you have prepared well. मतलब तुम लोगों ने basic data structures, basic algorithms थोड़े थोड़े prepare करे हैं और standard questions बनाए हुए हैं. Although this problem is of problems well, ठीक है? So if you will visualize the problem, if you will directly visualize the problem, we can see that we have to find kth smallest fraction. Okay. Now the problems like finding kth largest or kth smallest, so on and so forth. These problems lie in a special category of problems called as kth order statistics. These lie, how many of you guys know about this? Drop a yes or no in the chat. Pradosh, do you think you will be able to make a matrix based on 10 raised per 5 length array? Okay, so people says no. So there is a category of problem called as kth order statistics. So what kind of problems lie in this category? So maybe you could have unsorted array, find kth largest element, right? Or maybe you can have kth smallest fraction. This seems fair enough. So you might have to get any query. You will be getting some queries, and you have to give maybe kth largest or maybe kth smallest or any kth order value, right? So these problems lie in the category of kth order statistics. Does that make sense? Okay, so Pradosh, yes. Policy-based data structures, where I introduced about kth order statistics. You can definitely check out those of the classes. But I just wanted to give you an intuition that this problem lies in kth order statistics category, right? Okay. Now, in order to solve the kth order statistics category, we generally have 2-3 different solutions. The best kth order statistics solution most of the times comes from quicksort or some heap or greedy approaches, right? When I say greedy approaches, then I'm including things around sorting and maybe policy-based data structure, right? There can be few more tricks. So there is tournament method as well. There exists a tournament method as well to solve it. That is a divide and conquer based, I guess. But this is quicksort is also divide and conquer based. But yeah, there are few of these tricks which is used to solve kth order statistics problem. Okay, right. So now we have narrowed down. So we have a lot of programming paradigms. We have a lot of problem paradigms, I would say. So the problem could have lied in maybe DP category or maybe backtracking category, right? Or maybe searching category, so on and so forth. So among all those categories, we have at least found the category of the problem that it somehow lies in kth order statistics. So maybe these tricks might be helpful. These tricks might be helpful. Does that make sense? इस तरीके से सोचना स्टार्ट करना है, ठीक है? अब मैं ये मान के चलूंगा, विल कंसिडर द फैक्ट दैट अब बेसिक प्रोग्रामिंग आप लोगों ने पढ़ी है, तो ऑब्वियसली क्विक सॉर्ट तो कभी ना कभी पढ़ा ही होगा, हीप कभी ना कभी पढ़ा ही होगा. ये दोनों मैं मान के नहीं चल रहा हूँ कि आपने पढ़ा होगा. पॉलिसी बेस्ड डेटा स्ट्रक्चर मैं मान के चलता हूँ कि नहीं पढ़ा होगा, राइट? और टूर्नामेंट मेथड भी मैं चलो मैं मान के चलता हूँ कि नहीं पढ़ा होगा, ठीक है? चलो, ओके. सो MILIM पूछ रहे हैं कि मीडियन ऑफ मीडियन वाली किस कैटेगरी में लाई करती है. आई जनरली कैटेगराइज देम इन सम ग्रीडी साइड, बिकॉज वहाँ पे सॉर्टिंग वॉटिंग करके कुछ कुछ हो जाता है. सो आई जनरली कैटेगराइज देम इन दैट मैनर, राइट? ओके. तो चलो, अब हमें पता लग गया कि कुछ यार क्विक सॉर्ट या हीप वीप का यूज करके कुछ कुछ हमारा काम बन जाएगा. चलो ठीक है. कितने लोगों ने ये एल्गोरिथम पढ़ा हुआ है, मर्ज सॉर्ट? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू गाइस हैव हर्ड अबाउट दिस एल्गोरिथम, मर्ज सॉर्ट? मर्ज सॉर्ट में क्या होता है? इसका एक सब रूटीन होता है. इसका एक सब रूटीन होता है मर्ज टू सॉर्टेड एरेज। होता है नहीं होता है? उसमें क्या होता है, आपके पास दो सॉर्टेड एरेज हैं, लेट्स से 1 4 5 2 3 7, एंड यू हैव टू मर्ज देम। इसको रिकर्सिवली सॉर्ट करके लाओ, इसको रिकर्सिवली सॉर्ट करके लाओ। तो इसका एक सब रूटीन प्रॉब्लम होता है कि मर्ज टू सॉर्टेड एरेज। ठीक है, अच्छा। अब ये सोचो कि इंस्टेड ऑफ टू सॉर्टेड एरेज, हाउ अबाउट वी आर गिवन के सॉर्टेड एरेज। ठीक है, मान लो ये भी एक सॉर्टेड एरे है, S1 S2 S3 so on and so forth Sk, you have k sorted arrays and you have to merge them, you have to merge k sorted arrays, fair enough, right? जनरली लोग इसको जब बेसिक अपनी स्टडीज कर रहे होते हैं, डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एल्गोरिथम इंटरव्यूज के लिए प्रिपेयर करते हैं, ये बहुत ही ज्यादा फेमस प्रॉब्लम है। आई वाज आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन डायरेक्टली इन स्प्रिंकलर, मेरे से ही डायरेक्टली पूछा गया था। थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट का ऐसे ई कॉमर्स जैसा सिनेरियो बना दिया था, एंड स्प्रिंकलर में ये फर्स्ट राउंड में ही डायरेक्टली पूछा था मेरे से फेस टू फेस में। अब देखो, अगर तुमने ऑलरेडी ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करी हुई है, जो कि काफी बेसिक प्रॉब्लम है, इसका टैग है इजी, तो इस प्रॉब्लम का यूज करके हम लोग सीधा ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर देंगे हार्ड लेवल की। ट्रिक क्या थी, तुम्हारे पास दो सॉर्टेड एरेज हैं, तुम पहले इनके दो एलिमेंट्स को कंपेयर करते हो, जो छोटा होता है उसको पिक कर लेते हो, फेयर इनफ, यही करते हो। मर्ज टू सॉर्टेड एरेज में क्या करते हो, दो एरेज हैं सॉर्टेड, पहले एलिमेंट पे कंपैरिजन करा, जो छोटा है उसको पिक कर लिया, और फिर उसके नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट को इसके पहले एलिमेंट, सॉर्टेड एरेज हैं, तो मुझे सबसे छोटा एलिमेंट चाहिए, विच विल बी द स्मॉलेस्ट एलिमेंट। द स्मॉलेस्ट एलिमेंट विल बी इसका पहला एलिमेंट, इसका पहला एलिमेंट, इसका पहला एलिमेंट, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ, इसका पहला एलिमेंट। मेरे पास के कैंडिडेट्स हैं, इसमें से मुझे स्मॉलेस्ट एलिमेंट निकाल के लाना है। ठीक है, तो अगेन कैसी प्रॉब्लम आ गई, यू हैव के नंबर्स, फाइंड द स्मॉलेस्ट एलिमेंट। डज दैट मेक सेंस? तो कैसे निकाल सकते हो, या तो सब पे आइट्रेट करो और फिर कंपेयर करो। तो जैसे ही तुमने कंपेयर करा, मान लो दिस इज द स्मॉलेस्ट एलिमेंट, लेट्स से दिस इज द स्मॉलेस्ट, तो अगला कंपैरिजन किसका होगा, सेकंड स्मॉलेस्ट के लिए कंपैरिजन किसका होगा, सेकंड स्मॉलेस्ट के लिए कंपैरिजन होगा इसका नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट, और बाकी ये सेम टू सेम। तो फिर मान लो दोबारा मुझे सब पे जाना पड़ेगा, ये तो फिजिबल नहीं है। तो इस प्रॉब्लम को हम कैसे सॉल्व करते हैं, हीप्स का यूज करके सॉल्व करते हैं, कि यार एक के साइज की हीप बना लो, उसमें सारे पहले एलिमेंट डाल दो, एक मिन हीप बना लो, और जिस एलिमेंट को पिक कर रहे हो उसी एरे का नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट हीप में ऐड कर दो। तो ये के सॉर्टेड एरेज वाली जो मर्ज की प्रॉब्लम होती है, इसको हम लोग हीप से सॉल्व कर पाते हैं। इतनी नॉलेज है सबको, कंसिडरिंग द फैक्ट दैट यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर इंटरव्यूज। अब देखो, ये प्रॉब्लम अगर तुम लोगों को पता है, तो इससे डायरेक्टली तुम इसकी इंट्यूशन निकाल सकते हो, देखते हैं कैसे। चलो, क्या गिवन था प्रॉब्लम में, 1 2 3 5। पॉसिबल फ्रैक्शंस क्या होंगे, पॉसिबल फ्रैक्शंस क्या हो सकते हैं, देखते हैं। 1/5, 1/3, 1/2, और 2/5, 2/3, और 3/5, यही होंगे क्या पॉसिबल फ्रैक्शंस? बताता हूं मैं कैसे प्राइम रेशियो को डिक्रीज करेंगे। गाइस, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू गाइस अग्री कि यही पॉसिबल फ्रैक्शंस है हमारे पास? सही लग रहा है? अच्छा, मैंने जिस तरीके से लिखा है इसको, 1/5, देन 1/3, देन 1/2, देन 2/5, 2/3, देन 3/5, क्या ये एक सॉर्टेड एरे S1, क्या ये सॉर्टेड एरे S2, और क्या ये सॉर्टेड एरे S3 नहीं है? क्या ये तीन सॉर्टेड एरेज नहीं है? देखो, 1/5 इज लेस देन 1/3, लेस देन 1/2, दिस इज लेस देन 2/5, 2/3। ठीक है, दीज आर थ्री डिफरेंट सॉर्टेड एरेज ना। अच्छा चलो, now in the previous problem of merging k sorted arrays, how we calculated the smallest element, we picked the first element from all the arrays. So if you want to find the first smallest, which is, you can say, just like smallest, can I say the candidates are either 1/5 or 2/5 or 3/5? Among these three fractions only, any one will be the smallest. Can I say that? Can I say that? Guys, drop a yes or no in the chat. Can I say that? Now are you able to get some intuition around this? Are you able to get few intuitions around this? तो देखो, सबसे पहले क्या कर सकते हैं, वी विल प्रिपेयर अ हीप. ठीक है, वी विल प्रिपेयर अ हीप ऑफ साइज के, जो ये के जितना साइज होगा. सबके सबसे छोटे एलिमेंट्स को डाल दो, 1/5, 2/5, 3/5. राइट, ओके. व्हाट इज द स्मॉलेस्ट एलिमेंट? ये हम मिन हीप बना लेते हैं. मैं हीप में से एलिमेंट को पॉप करूंगा. ये वी विल गो फॉर सेकंड स्मॉलेस्ट. राइट, अच्छा. 1/5 के लिए तो देखो काम हो चुका है. 1/5 is done. Now we have left with 2/5, 3/5, and what will be the next candidate from the first sorted array to become the second smallest? Now for some time, forget about this 1/5. So can I say this will be the next candidate? So I will insert 1/3. Now among all these three, what is the smallest element? 1/3, 2/5, 3/5. Which is the smallest? 1/3. So second smallest becomes 1/3. We will just remove 1/3 and we'll say 1/3 is done. Now for the third smallest, what are the candidates? Either 2/5 or 3/5, and this from this array we will get a contribution of 1/2. So we'll get 1/2. What is the smallest element here? What is the smallest element here? Can I say 2/5 is the smallest element here? So we have got the third smallest element. I will just pop it, and as soon as we got any kth smallest, we are done. Fair enough, guys. Is this point fair enough? How we were able to solve this problem? If anyhow we got these sorted arrays of fractions, we could have done it. Yes or no? Guys, say yes or no. Okay. बट देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम, थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम है. ये सारी सॉर्टेड एरेज अगर कैलकुलेट करने लग गए तो मुझे सारे पॉसिबल फ्रैक्शन के पेयर बनाने पड़ेंगे, और पेयर विजुलाइज कर सकते हैं. अच्छा, शुरू में जब हम लोग फर्स्ट स्मॉलेस्ट निकाल रहे थे या फिर स्मॉलेस्ट निकाल रहे थे, क्या मुझे इन दोनों की जरूरत थी? नहीं. मैं फर्स्ट स्मॉलेस्ट कैसे निकाल सकता था? फर्स्ट स्मॉलेस्ट मेरे पास ऐसे ही आ जाता. वन को सबके साथ एक एक बार अटैच कर दो, मेरे पास सारे, सॉरी वन को नहीं, माय बैड, वन को नहीं, तुम वन को एक बारी फाइव के साथ अटैच कर दो, टू को एक बारी फाइव के साथ, थ्री को एक बारी फाइव के साथ, सबको अपने डिनोमिनेटर के साथ अटैच कर दो, लास्ट जो इंडेक्स का नंबर है, तो तुम्हारे पास पहला कैंडिडेट आ जाएगा. फेयर इनफ. विल मेक अ फ्रैक्शन ऑब्जेक्ट. इस ऑब्जेक्ट के अंदर मैं क्या करूंगा? एक फ्रैक्शन की डबल वैल्यू रखूंगा. ठीक है, जिससे मैं दो फ्रैक्शंस को कंपेयर कर पाऊं. एक मैं न्यूमरेटर का इंडेक्स रखूंगा, एक मैं डिनोमिनेटर का इंडेक्स रखूंगा. इज दिस पॉइंट मेकिंग सेंस टू एवरीवन कि मैं फ्रैक्शंस कैसे स्टोर करवाने जा रहा हूं? इनिशियली तो मेरे को ये तीनों मिल जाएंगे, कुछ नहीं करना, वन को फाइव के साथ, टू को फाइव के साथ, थ्री को फाइव के साथ अटैच कर दो. अब मुझे पता लग गया, अच्छा एक हीप बना ली फ्रैक्शन की, और उसमें एलिमेंट्स को ऐड कर दिया. वी मेड अ हीप एंड एडेड द एलिमेंट्स डायरेक्टली हियर. राइट. नाउ what will be the next element? You have 1/5, so 1/5 will be stored in an object like this. So 1/5 will be stored like this. There will be an object, there will be a value 1/5, the numerator index is what? 0. The denominator index is what? 3. This will be the fraction object for 1/5. Now how we can get the next element of 1/5? Can I say, can I just directly say that the next element will be denominator index -1, numerator index as it is, and the value will be, can be calculated using these two. This will be the new object. So can I say, if we have extracted 1/5, definitely the next element in this sorted array is going to be 1/3 because the numerator is constant. So the next greater element will be the smaller prime number. Can we do that? Yes, MD, I'm coming to that, don't worry. Guys, are you able to get this point? How we will be able to get the fractions? समझ में आ रहा है सब लोगों को? ठीक है. अच्छा, what will be the space complexity of the solution? At any point of time, we are not maintaining all these arrays, we are just maintaining this heap, and this heap will only contain how many elements? This heap will contain only how many elements? At any point of time, it will just contain n elements. Not k, n. How? Because initial fractions 1 by 5, 2 by 5, 3 by 5, which are like n minus 1 fractions. So we can say space complexity will be always big O of n. Fair enough? And from this big O of n array or heap, we are doing some deletion and addition. So time complexity will be n log n. कितने लोगों को ये बात समझ में आ रही है? How many of you guys are able to understand? फटाफट से बताओ यार, डाउट पूछो अपने, फिर इसको कोड करके देखेंगे, काफी मजा आएगा. Everyone just drop a yes or no in the chat. Mohit, which part do you want me to repeat? पायल कह रहे स्पेस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी. अच्छा पायल, वर्स्ट केस में तुम इसमें कितने फ्रैक्शंस मेंटेन करके रखोगे? इन वर्स्ट केस इस हीप में कितने फ्रैक्शंस मेंटेन करके रखोगे? इन वर्स्ट केस शुरू में तुम्हारे पास कितनी फ्रैक्शन थी? 1/5, 2/5, 3/5. सो कैन आई से n माइनस 1 फ्रैक्शन थी इनिशियली. अब हर आइट्रेशन में एक फ्रैक्शन रिमूव हो जाती है तो एक फ्रैक्शन ऐड हो जाती है, तो हर बारी n माइनस 1 फ्रैक्शंस मेंटेन रहेंगी. मोहित, इज दिस पॉइंट क्लियर? द स्पेस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी पॉइंट इज क्लियर? एनी मोर डाउट्स? गाइस कितने लोगों को मजा आया है इस प्रॉब्लम में? काफी बढ़िया प्रॉब्लम है. दिस इज अ हार्ड लेवल प्रॉब्लम. एंड देखो इसकी इंट्यूशन हम कैसे लाए. मर्ज सॉर्ट पता था, तो मर्ज सॉर्ट से मर्ज के सॉर्टेड एरेस पता करा कि कैसे कर सकते हैं. और पहले ही हम लोगों ने निकाल लिया था कि ये केथ ऑर्डर स्टैटिस्टिक से आ रही है प्रॉब्लम, तो हम लोगों ने इसको मर्ज के सॉर्टेड एरेज में कन्वर्ट किया और वहां से चीजें निकाल ली. अब ये जो मर्ज के सॉर्टेड एरे वाली प्रॉब्लम है, कभी कभी ये मर्ज के सॉर्टेड लिंक लिस्ट की फॉर्म में भी आती है. राइट, सो जस्ट मेंश्योर कि आप लोगों को वो प्रॉब्लम पता है. तो एक ही प्रॉब्लम में हम लोगों ने तीन डिफरेंट प्रॉब्लम्स डिस्कस कर ली. मर्ज के सॉर्टेड एरेज, मर्ज के सॉर्टेड लिंक लिस्ट एंड kth smallest fraction. Is this point making sense? सही लग रहा है सब लोगों को? गाइस फटाफट से चैट में रिप्लाई करो यार. अभिराज कह रहे हैं कि रिपीट के सॉर्टेड एरेज. अभिराज अच्छा ये बताओ, के सॉर्टेड एरे कैंडिडेट्स. अभिराज आर यू एबल टू गेट माय पॉइंट? यही होंगे कैंडिडेट्स. इसमें से जो सबसे स्मॉलेस्ट होगा वो के सॉर्टेड एरेज का सबसे स्मॉलेस्ट होगा. तो तुम एक हीप में स्टोर करके उसको निकाल लो. फिर नेक्स्ट कैंडिडेट कौन होंगे? लेट्स से ये सबसे स्मॉलेस्ट है, नेक्स्ट कैंडिडेट होंगे ये और ये बाकी सारे के दोबारा फर्स्ट इंडेक्स वाले एलिमेंट. तो तुम क्या करो, इसको हीप में से रिमूव करो, इसको हीप में ऐड करो, दोबारा हीप का स्मॉलेस्ट निकालो. लेट्स से स्मॉलेस्ट ये आया, ये वाला आया स्मॉलेस्ट. तो अगले कैंडिडेट कौन होंगे? इसका नेक्स्ट, इसका जीरो, इसका नेक्स्ट. हाँ राज, हाँ रजत, यू कैन डेफिनेटली डू दैट यूजिंग सेम अप्रोच लिंक लिस्ट. विवेक, हाउ दैट विल बी एन स्क्वायर in worst case? No, n log n is not amortized, n log n is exact. So Dipanshu, yes, obviously we are starting from first smallest. No, 1/5 is the first smallest, then 1/3, and then 2/5. Vivek, are you able to get my point? The time complexity will be exact n log n. Why it will be n square? It won't be n square anytime. Heap is always going to do all the operations in log n time, and inside heap you are always maintaining these many n elements only. So n log n will be the complexity. Yes, Dipanshu, I'll be explaining the code. Don't worry, I'll be explaining the code. Guys, is this point making sense? Can we improve the complexity somehow? Can we improve even like this solution will be submitted? This solution will be definitely submitted. Maybe we can improve somehow. Is there any improvement possible, guys? Do you think? So there is a suggestion by MILIM that we just need K size. We don't need N size. We just need K size. How many of you guys agree with this? Uh, no, Vivek. We are also removing from heap, right? We are not only adding. We are removing from heap as well. Yes, MD. We are using heap. That's the only. On basis of size and array and K, we can reduce the number of elements. Guys, initially at least you want these many elements or not to get the possible candidates. We at least need these three elements at the very start. Yes or no? We at least need these three elements. We can't only just store these two and for obvious reasons say that, okay, this is obviously lesser than the next element because the next element here can be bigger than this one, right? So we need to have these candidates only. So we will require n time, right? Pile why it will be log k. Log is the term that will be given to the size of heap. Size of heap is always going to be n, so it will log n only, irrespective of the fact that what you did. You just need to do k operations. So you just need to do k pop operations, right? But how about k is equals to n? So this will be the worst case where it will be n log n, right? Rajat, you won't be able to reduce a lot using set, right? Also in set, if you will be having repeated numbers, then those will be vanished. So that's a problem. Guys, always use heaps if you can expect repeated numbers. If you are expecting things are not going to repeat, then only you use set in such cases. Cool. So before moving towards the solution of the problem, we'll be coding the solution. I would just like to go through the competitive programming track launched by Unacademy. Guys, you can definitely check out the competitive programming track which is recently launched by CodeChef and Unacademy. अगर ये वाली प्रॉब्लम हो कितने जितने भी लोगों को बढ़िया लग रहा है कि यार इस प्रॉब्लम को समझने में इंट्यूशन मिली कि कैसे सोच सकते हैं प्रॉब्लम को, हाउ यू आर एबल टू एग्जैक्टली थिंक फॉर अ प्रॉब्लम, देन डेफिनेटली you guys can check out the programming track, right? So all the educators will be listed there. You can check them out. All of them have worked in big tech giants like App Dynamics. I'm currently working LinkedIn. People are from Google, Facebook, Flipkart, so on and so forth. So you can definitely check this out. And you will be getting intuition based on what you need to learn. We are going to launch batches. So in mid of December, I guess, we'll be launching batches that will be starting from beginner to advanced level and individual courses on different topics like segment trees, DP, STL also will be coming throughout the year. So do check this out, and you can definitely check out the free live classes that we are conducting regularly. You will be getting course-wise problems as well as TA support for this. Uh, if at any point of time you feel that you need the subscription, you can definitely use the code Sanket 10 to avail the maximum possible discount, right? Mohit, we are starting with 3 batches this month, and we will be launching batches at the end of the month probably, as well as in January as well. We'll be having a dedicated batch for interview preparation that will be like a 6 month long program or something 4 month long program. We are planning things around that. But the beginner to advanced in Python, Java, and C++ is going to be launched in mid of December. Fair enough. Yes. Yes, Vivek. N log n will be for insertions. So how that will reduce to n square? Yes. So Vivek, you are right. N log n will be for insertions, and then you are going to do some pop operations. And at any point of time, the size of the heap is always n. So pop operation will also require log n time. So if let's say in worst case, k becomes equals to n, so it will be n log n in worst case. Make sense? Okay, so let's just start the implementation, guys. Let's just start the implementation. So this is kth smallest fraction. So guys, you will also be asked to code your problem. So make sure whenever you are coding your problem, then you cross check it properly, because a lot of time people make silly mistakes. So we are going to make a class fraction. We'll have some public properties that will quickly implement it. We'll be having a double value. Then we can have int I, which will store the numerator index. And we can have an int j, which will store denominator index. Right. Then we can have a constructor for our fraction class. Right. And let's say we will be given a value double v, int I, int j. You can write this dot v equals to v, this dot I equals to I, and this dot j equals to j. Fair enough? Guys, is this point making sense? Right. Okay. Now we'll implement the main function. That is, we are going to let's say return the kth smallest fraction, right? We are going to return the kth smallest fraction. So we can return a double value, right? And let's say this is kth smallest fraction, right? Now we'll be getting a vector of primes, right? And a value k. Does that make sense? Now we need to make a priority queue. So we'll make a priority queue of fractions, pq. Fair enough? Guys, is this point making sense? Guys, ping a yes or no in the chat. Ping a yes or no in the chat. If by default you are going to make this priority queue, then it will be like a max heap. So instead, what you can do, you can instead prepare a min heap by passing vector and greater, or maybe you can just override the less than operator, right? Bool operator, you can just override this, right? You might have learned about operator overloading and x, right? So how we can overload it? We will just return value is greater than x dot value. So whenever a comparison will be made, it will be compared in this order based on the value. Fair enough? Guys, is this point making sense? So let's just first initially get our first n minus 1 fractions. So for int I equals to 0, I less than a dot size, I plus plus, right? Okay, so what will the fractions? We will just do pq dot push, pq dot push, and we are going to do add fraction. So we'll be having a constructor for a fraction, and we can have the double value, the numerator and the denominator. So numerator index will be I, denominator index will be what? A dot size minus 1. What will be the double value? The double value can be written as what? A of I, sorry, divided by what? How we can get the last value of a vector? We can get it using A dot back. Yes or no? And we need to typecast it. So either we can just multiply it with 1.0 to get a double, or we can use a static cast. That will be a compile time cast. So static cast double. This will act as a compile time typecasting, right? So you can definitely check this out for the documentation. And now we need to get the kth smallest fraction. So we can say while k is greater than 1, right? While k is going to be greater than 1, every time reduce k, right? Then get the minimum element auto. Let's say t is equals to pq dot top. We will get the minimum fraction. Abhiraj says v or value. Sorry, this will be value. Yeah, makes sense. Fair enough, guys. Now we will just remove this element from the heap, pq dot pop. Now what should be the next element that we need to insert? Next element will be, I can write int next denominator. is equals to t dot j minus 1. This will be the next denominator, and we can just again insert the fraction based on what? A of t dot I, whatever the numerator was. Then we can write, or we can just update this t of j only. Instead of getting a new value, we can just update it using this, and we will get a of t dot j, right? What will be the numerator index? T of t dot I. What will be the denominator index? T dot j. Fair enough? Vivek, are you having any doubt? Do ask me. Maybe you can write a big explanation of your logic, and then I can like tell you the whole thing. Don't worry on that part. Guys, is this point clear? After these many drops, the top value of our corresponding vector will be getting our value, right? So how we can get the value of the kth smallest fraction? We have already stored it inside the topmost, right? So I can just say return a of pq dot top dot I, right? A of pq dot top dot I, and maybe we can return a of pq dot top dot j, right? We can return a vector here, and this is it. Fair enough? So this will be the numerator, and this will be the denominator, right? So maybe you could be asked a value, or maybe just the numerator and the denominator. You can return it like this. And a pretty short code we have. We have a pretty short code with us. Does that make sense? How many of you guys are able to get the implementation? After getting the intuition of merge case sorted arrays, the problem was really easy, right? Yes or no? Cool. So let's just move to the next problem. Let's just move to the next problem. So this problem is also going to be the from the category hard, right? And let me phrase the problem. MD, what's your doubt? I'm not able to exactly get it. So let's say there are n workers, right? Let's say there are n workers. The ith worker has quality Q of I and minimum wage expectation as W of I, right? We want to hire K workers, right? We want to hire K workers only. When hiring workers, we must pay according to the following rules. So what are the rules? Let's see what are the rules, right? So every worker should be paid, in the ratio of their quality compared to others. Fair enough? Yes, Shivang, exactly K. We need to get exactly K workers. What's the criteria B? Every worker should get at least minimum wage, minimum expected wage. Right. These are the two criteria that we have. Now we need to return minimum money required to hire K workers. Is this point making sense? So problem statement is really very easy. आपके पास n workers हैं. You have n workers. You have the quality of ith worker in QI array and minimum expected wage in WI array. आप लोगों के पास उसकी quality QI array में है और WI array में minimum wage है. आप लोगों को exactly K workers hire करने. You want to exactly hire K workers. When hiring workers, we must pay according to the following rules. दो रूल है, उसके अकॉर्डिंग ही वर्कर्स की पे होनी चाहिए. क्या होना चाहिए? Every worker should be paid इन द रेशियो ऑफ देयर क्वालिटी कंपेयर टू अदर्स. मतलब अगर किसी की क्वालिटी ज्यादा है तो उसका पे ज्यादा है. ठीक है. और एवरी वर्कर शुड गेट एटलीस्ट द मिनिमम एक्सपेक्टेड वेज. और कम से कम जितना उसकी एक्सपेक्टेड वेज है उतना उसको मिनिमम मिलना ही मिलना चाहिए. आप लोगों को क्या बताना है? व्हाट इज द मिनिमम अमाउंट ऑफ मनी रिक्वायर्ड टू गेट दीज के वर्कर्स. फेयर इनफ. यस शिवांग, आंसर कैन बी फ्रैक्शनल. द मनी कैन बी फ्रैक्शनल. Yes, Vivek. In the previous problem, k can be equal to the size, obviously, na. Otherwise, obviously, k can be of all the pairs, then it will be n square, but k is expected to be of size n. Akash, it just says that if someone has a better quality, then it should be paid better, right? If your quality is high, the pay should be high. So let's just take an example, guys. Shall we take an example? Everyone just drop a yes or no if you can take an example. Okay, so let's say the quality array is given to you as 10, 20, 5. The minimum wage array is given to as 70, 50, 30. K is equals to 2. So the answer should be 105.0. Right? How this will be 105.0? We can just pick worker 0 and worker 2. Right? We can pick worker 0 and worker 2. We can pay the worker 0 70 units and we can pay worker 2 35 units and get things done. Make sense? Think about the problem, how you can solve it. Okay. Few people says knapsack. What about rest of the people? What should be the first thing here, guys? You should ask for the constraints. You should ask for the constraints, right? So let's see what are the constraints. K can be less than equal to the length of the array, which will be less than or equal to 10 raised to the power 4, right? And any quality or any wage can also be less than or equal to 10 raised to the power 4. Okay, how you will try to do it using knapsack? Those people who are saying about knapsack, how you'll do that? How you'll map it? Minimum difference of what, Saurabh? Minimum difference of what? Okay, people are saying fractional knapsack. Okay. How you can use fractional knapsack here? Yes, we will do something like that, MD. But will that be exactly fractional knapsack? I don't think so. So this problem has been previously asked in Google, Amazon, as well as Bloomberg. Okay, so Payal, what the problem is, you have few workers which have their quality as QI and their minimum expected wage as WI. Any ith worker will be having these two parameters. You want to exactly hire K workers, but you are going to pay them according to the following. Everyone should get their expected minimum wage at least, and everyone should be paid according to their quality ratio. That is, if someone has a better quality, then he or she should be paid better. You need to find the minimum money required to get K workers hired. Yes, Ramesa, you are on the right track if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. This is the following example. If you have quality as this, workers minimum expected wage as this, and K equals to 2, so the answer will be 105.0, and you are expected to like return decimal value. So yeah. Anyone with any thoughts on this? How we can solve this? Okay. So people are saying use knapsack. Guys, do you think we will be able to use knapsack because of a condition A? Condition A says that if someone has a better quality, then he or she should be paid better, right? Irrespective of the fact that whatever their minimum wage is, if someone you have picked has a better quality but the minimum wage is less, then also he or she should be paid better. Think about this as well. Because Ankit is asking why the wage of second worker is worker 2 is 35. This is the minimum expected wage, right? Here you have to give minimum overall cost that you need to give, right? So the quality ratio should be maintained. So what quality ratio means is that, let's say, quality of worker 1 and quality of worker 2 is what? 10 by 5, right? So the wage W1 by W2 should be also in this fraction only. Is this point making sense? This is what line A is saying, that your fraction of wage should be comparing itself with the quality as well. So you won't be able to directly use knapsack here. And here you can see if quality is 10 by 5, then cost is 70 by 35, and both of them are having same ratio. Fair enough. Think about it, guys, how you can solve the problem. Think about it. इज द प्रॉब्लम क्लियर टू एवरीवन? सब लोगों को प्रॉब्लम समझ में आ रही है? कोई ऐसा है जिसको प्रॉब्लम ही समझ में नहीं आ रही है? तो बात करते हैं. Guys, is there anyone who is not able to understand the problem? Okay, so people are not replying. Guys, drop a yes or no in the chat if you are able to understand the problem at least. Dipanshu's second point says that every worker should at least get the minimum expected wage. You should never pay them less than the minimum expected wage. Yes, Rajat, you are on the right track. Trisha, what part do you want me to repeat? Please tell me. No overthinker. I don't think this should be the way that you should think. Why? Because there is a condition A. You need to keep that in mind. Arpit, which part do you want me to repeat? Don't just say repeat again. Which exact part you were not able to understand? Let me know. Do you think, Rajat, you should find something like smallest or something? You have to calculate the minimum cost, right? Yes. Guys, we'll just give 2 more minutes. Maybe then we can start the discussion. Dipanshu is asking that why are we deciding the wages when the wages are already given in the minimum wages array? This is the minimum expected wage. A worker can get more than the expected wage. And in what order he or she should get? It should be based on the ratio of the quality. Here you can see quality 1 divided by quality 2 is giving you a ratio of 2 by 1. So the wages should also be inside this ratio only. Is this point making sense? Right? Everyone's expected ratio should be maintained. And this is not only compared to one. This is not compared to one. It will be compared to all of the workers. Let's say we had all three workers, right? So everyone's compensation will be based on this. So everyone should get compensation based on the quality ratio with respect to rest of the workers. Fair enough. Trisha, quality part means that if someone has a better quality, then he or she should be paid better. Right. Now, how much better he or she should be paid when compared to any other worker? He or she should be paid based on the ratio of the quality. Right. So let's say that this was worker A, this was worker B, this was worker C. Right. Let's say we picked worker A and we picked worker C. Right. Now you will check that okay, wages are 70 and 30. You can say that okay, we could have just paid them 100 rupees. But no, not 100. Why? Because the worker C will get at least the minimum wage, but not exactly the minimum wage. Why? Because you will compare the quality of worker C with the quality of worker A. What is the ratio of the quality? Can I say it is Q1 by Q2 is equals to 10 by 5, which is 2 by 1. So the wage should also be at least within this ratio. If you would have hired worker B as well, then you will compare C with this ratio as well. You should have at least matching this ratio and matching this ratio. You can get more than that. So you need to find the minimum spot or the minimum price where you can go to the negotiation. Fair enough. Everyone on YouTube as well as on Academy. Is this quality part clear to everyone? Is this quality part clear to everyone? Cool. Any approaches? Any approaches, guys? Akash says, why not 70 plus 31? Okay. So 70 by 31, is it giving the this ratio? At least this ratio. Do you think that? So we should always give 70 by 35 at least. And to minimize the wage, we will always give 35 to this and 70 to this. Yes, Shivang, you're on the right track. No, Ritik, I don't think we will require 2D array. No overthinker, this won't give you the optimal answer. Shall we start the discussion, guys? Shall we start the discussion? Everyone, just spam a yes or no in the chat if we can start the discussion. Okay. So we want minimum price, right? We want minimum price that we need to spend. And we will hire K workers. So we will hire based on quality ratio. That means quality ratio defines wages. Fair enough. So can I say if the quality ratio of two workers is Q1 by Q2, then the wage should be having a fraction at least the wage fraction should be at least Q1 by Q2? Yes or no? And if we can just rearrange this, it will be Q1 by W1, Q2 by W2. Can we say that? So maybe we can just arrange them based on the ratio of the quality and the wages. Right? We can just sort them or arrange them based on the quality to wage ratio. And can I say if you have quality to wage ratio, lesser the ratio, more the wage? Can I say that? Are you guys able to get my point? Drop a yes or no in the chat. Right. Or we can see it in this terms as well. Maybe we can sort it based on WK by QK, wage by QK ratio. So lesser the ratio, lesser the wage. Same thing, right? Same thing. You can sort it on any terms. Let's say we will go with this approach. Both of these things are same, right? We can arrange it by W1 by WK by QK form as well. So we will go with this approach. So we'll first sort the workers based on WK by QK. Why we are doing this? Because lower the ratio, lower the wage we are supposed to give, right? And lower the ratio, higher the quality we will get. Fair enough. Guys, is this point making sense? And this should be our intended criteria, no? Better quality, low wage. This should be the intended criteria. Okay. So now we have got the workers in the form W1 by Q1, W2 by Q2, W3 by Q3, so on and so forth, Wn by Qn. We have got this after sorting. What we can do now? What we can do now? We want only K workers. Now, not more than that. हमें सिर्फ K वर्कर चाहिए, K से ज्यादा वर्कर नहीं चाहिए. और हम लोगों ने वेजेस के इस रेशियो में सॉर्ट कर लिया है. ठीक लग रहा है? कितनों को ये बात समझ में आ रही है? अच्छा, तो क्या एक एक करके इसमें से एलिमेंट पिक करता हुआ ना जाऊं? क्या एक एक करके इसमें सॉर्टिंग करता ना, वो सॉर्टिंग करने के बाद एक एक एलिमेंट पिक करता हुआ ना जाऊं? ये बताओ. उससे क्या होगा? लेट्स से यू पिक W1 by Q1. लेट्स से यू पिक W1 by Q1 एंड यू हैव टू पिक एटलीस्ट K वर्कर्स. ठीक है, तो हम चेक कर लेंगे कि क्या हमने ऑलरेडी K वर्कर हायर कर लिए थे और उसके बाद इसको हायर कर रहे हैं या नहीं. लेट्स से हमने अभी तक K वर्कर हायर नहीं करे थे. लेट्स से कि अभी तक हमने K वर्कर हायर नहीं करे थे. सो व्हाट वी कैन डू, वी कैन मेंटेन अ सम ऑफ क्वालिटी. वी कैन मेंटेन द सम ऑफ क्वालिटी, राइट? तो इस वाले वर्कर की क्वालिटी को ऐड कर लेंगे. ठीक लग रहा है? हाउ मेनी गाइस आर एबल टू गेट दिस पॉइंट? इसकी क्वालिटी को इसमें ऐड करेंगे, चेक करेंगे अगर इसको पिक करने से K से ज्यादा वर्कर तो नहीं हो जाते. मान लो नहीं होते K से ज्यादा वर्कर, तो अगला पिक करो. ठीक है, W2 by Q2 इसको पिक किया, इसकी क्वालिटी को भी सम में ऐड किया. मैं भी बताता हूँ ये सम क्यों लेके चल रहे हैं, अभी वो भी देख लेंगे. बट इसको ऐड किया और इसकी क्वालिटी को यहाँ पे ऐड कर दिया. ठीक है, अब जैसे ही इसको ऐड किया तो तुम्हें चेक करना है कि यार कहीं K वर्कर्स हिट तो नहीं हो गए. मान लो K की वैल्यू 2 थी और तुमने 2 वर्कर पिक कर लिए हैं. सही लग रहा है? तो अब इनकी कॉस्ट निकाल लेते हैं. अब मिनिमम कॉस्ट क्या होगी? मान लो तुमने W1 by Q1 को पिक करा और W2 by Q2 को पिक करा. लेट्स से वी पिक्ड these two, right? We picked these two. What should be the minimum cost? Anyone? Minimum cost के क्या criteria हैं? दो criteria. We have two criteria. What? Everyone should be paid at least their minimum wage, and every worker should be paid in the ratio of the quality, right? So can I say pay of worker 2 should be greater than pay of worker 1? कैन आई से दैट? क्वालिटी के हिसाब से पे कर रहे हैं ना? और लेट्स से कि इफ क्वालिटी ऑफ 2 इज ग्रेटर देन क्वालिटी ऑफ 1, राइट? तो एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं, जैसे 10, 20, 5 ये था क्वालिटी, और ये थी वेज। वेज थी 70, 50, 30। चलो एक एक करके एक सम वेरिएबल लेते हैं। सम इनिशियली 0 है, दो एलिमेंट्स को पिक करना था, ठीक है, दो वर्कर्स को पिक करना था। क्या मैं अभी पहले वाले वर्कर को पिक कर सकता हूं? अभी तक मैंने एक भी पिक नहीं किया है, क्या मैं पहले वाले को पिक कर सकता हूं? गाइस आई विल टेक द डाउट्स ऑन अनअकैडमी, पहले अभी अप्रोच सुन लो। कैन आई पिक द फर्स्ट वर्कर? I have not picked anyone. I can definitely pick the first worker. I'll add the quality, which is 10, and I will say pick one. Pick the worker one. Okay. We will check if we have picked all the K workers. No. We will go and pick the next one as well. We will add the quality, which is 20, and we'll say pick two. Okay. Now we were supposed to pick two workers, and we have picked two. Yeah. Oh, sorry. We have to sort it first. Yeah, my bad. Just a second. Let's just sort it first. I forgot it. So the quality and workers wages. So quality is 10, 25. Wages are 70, 50, 30. After sorting, this will be arranged like this. What's the minimum wage? Minimum wage to quality ratio? Can I say 50 by 20? Wage quality. Then after this, it will be 30 by 5, then 70 by 10. This is after sorting. Now we will try to pick. Let's say we'll pick a sum equals to 0. We'll pick first one. So quality is added. So this becomes 20. Now we'll pick second one. Quality is added. It will become 5, 25. Okay. Now we were supposed to pick 2 and we have picked 2. We were supposed to pick 2 and we have picked 2. What should be the minimum cost? What should be the minimum cost, guys? Based on the previous conditions. Can I say minimum cost will be 25 into 30 by 5? Can I say it will be 25 into 30 by 5? Why it is that? Let's see how we got 25. 25 was 20 plus 5. We are multiplying it with 30 by 5. So this is equivalent to 20 into 30 by 5 plus 5 into 30 by 5. Fair enough? Yes or no? Now, the worker with W by G, sorry, W by Q as 6, right? And the worker with W by Q as 2.5. He should get paid better? Yes or no? Or this one should be paid better? The pay will be decided based on quality. Pay will be decided based on quality. So pay of this worker will be better. But we need to give this worker at least the cost its minimum wages. So the minimum price will be given based on at least minimum wage. So minimum wage is coming as 30. So if we will just do this, it will be what? It will be 120 plus 30, 150. In 150 rupees, let's say, you will do what? In 150 rupees, how you can distribute it? How you can distribute it? You can give 120 to the first worker and you can give 30 rupees to the second worker. Can I say that? Now, if you will maintain the quality ratio, so quality ratio was 20 by 5. So 20 by 5 is 4 is to 1. And the wage ratio is 120 by 30. This is also at least 4 is to 1. Make sense? 30 by 5 is the quality ratio, the weight by quality ratio, right? So let's just see this again. Let's just see this again. So this was 50, 20. Then it was 35. Then it was 70, 10. Let's say we picked these two, right? We will add the quality 20 plus 5 and we will multiply by the minimum wage required by this 30 by 5. Why we are multiplying with this? Because there is a criteria. एक criteria क्या है हमारे पास कि सबको एटलीस्ट मिनिमम वेज मिलना ही चाहिए, सबको एटलीस्ट मिनिमम वेज मिलना ही चाहिए। अच्छा, अब अगर सबको एटलीस्ट मिनिमम वेज देना ही देना है तो क्या मैं ये कह सकता हूं कि क्योंकि इसका क्वालिटी रेशियो कम है, इसका क्वालिटी रेशियो कम है और इसका क्वालिटी रेशियो ज्यादा है, राइट, तो हम इसको एटलीस्ट इसकी अगर मिनिमम वेज दे दें तो इसको तो ऑब्वियसली इसकी मिनिमम वेज मिल जाएगी इस रेशियो के हिसाब से, क्योंकि 30 by 5 is obviously greater than 50 by 20। अगर मैं दोनों को इस रेट के हिसाब से दूं, 30 by 5 के हिसाब से दूं, तो पहले वाले को तो एटलीस्ट कॉस्ट मिलेगी ही मिलेगी, दूसरे वाले को भी एटलीस्ट मिल जाएगी और सेम रेशियो भी मेंटेन रहेगा। सो इट विल बी 20 इंटू 30 by 5 प्लस 5 इंटू 30 by 5 विच विल बी 150। सही लग रहा है? और हीप में तुम्हारे पास, और तुम क्या कर सकते हो, अच्छा तुमने दो एलिमेंट मेंटेन कर लिए, सही लग रहा है? अच्छा, अब मुझे क्या करना है, कॉस्ट मिनिमाइज करनी है, क्वालिटी बढ़ानी है। अच्छा, तो अगले एलिमेंट को पिक करता हूं। अगला एलिमेंट पिक कर नहीं सकते, क्यों? क्योंकि दो एलिमेंट्स को ऑलरेडी पिक कर चुके हैं, तो किसी एक को हटाना होगा। किसको हटा दें? जिसकी क्वालिटी लेस है, द वन विच इज हैविंग अ लेसर क्वालिटी, वी शुड रिमूव इट, यस और नो? तो किसकी क्वालिटी लेस है? इसकी क्वालिटी लेस है, इसको हटा देते हैं, इसको पिक कर लेते हैं। अगर इसको पिक किया तो सम में से 30 माइनस करो, तो सम कितना हो जाएगा, 50 प्लस 30 था पहले, सॉरी 20 प्लस 5 था पहले, अब उसमें से -5 करके +10 ऐड कर दो, सो इट विल बिकम व्हाट, 30। सम हो गया 30, और ये 30 कैसे आ रहा है, दिस इज 20 प्लस 10, और इसको मल्टीप्लाई कर दो 70 बाई 10 से। क्यों? 70 बाई 10 से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो इसको तो एटलीस्ट इसकी कॉस्ट मिल जाएगी इस रेट के हिसाब से, एंड 50 बाई 20 इज ऑब्वियसली लेसर देन 70 बाई 20, तो इसको तो इसकी कॉस्ट हमेशा इससे ज्यादा ही मिल रही होगी, तो 70 बाय 10 से मल्टीप्लाई कर लेते हैं। ठीक लग रहा है क्या? एक सेकंड, उल्टा लिख दिया गया। दिस विल बी द रेशियो ऑफ वेट, वेट कितना है, दिस विल बी डब्ल्यू एंड दिस विल बी क्यू, राइट? ठीक है, 70 बाय 10 के हिसाब से कर रहे हैं, तो दिस विल बी 20 इंटू 70 बाय 10 प्लस 10 इंटू 70 बाय 10। ठीक है, एक सेकंड, कुछ मिस्टेक कर दी हमने, लेट्स जस्ट चेक क्या मिस्टेक करी है, लेट्स जस्ट चेक। क्वालिटी ऐड कर लिया है 30, राइट, और अब इसको हम लोग मल्टीप्लाई कर देते हैं रेशियो से। तो अगर रेशियो से मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हैं तो वेज बाय क्वालिटी के रेशियो से मल्टीप्लाई कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। ठीक है, मेरे ख्याल से माइनस करने की जरूरत नहीं है फिर, ठीक है, वी डोंट नीड टू सब्ट्रैक्ट इट, ठीक है, वो भी देख लेते हैं क्यों सब्ट्रैक्ट नहीं कर रहे। सो इट विल बी 20, बट लेट्स जस्ट चेक वंस। ठीक है, एक बारी दोबारा से ड्राई रन कर लेते हैं, मे बी हमने कोई पॉइंट मिस कर दिया बीच में। ठीक है, सो दिस वाज 35 एंड दिस वाज 70-10 आई गेस। ठीक है, एक बारी टेस्ट केस चेक कर लेते हैं। 70-10, 35, 50-20, फेयर इनफ, फेयर इनफ, ठीक है। सबसे पहले इनको सॉर्ट कर लेते हैं, तो सॉर्ट करने के बाद इसी ऑर्डर में आ रहे हैं लोग, सॉर्ट करने के बाद इसी ऑर्डर में आ रहे हैं, ठीक है। चलो, अब हम लोग ये क्या करेंगे, सम मेंटेन करके रखेंगे। सम इनिशियली हमारा है 0, और अब हमें क्या चाहिए, क्वालिटी के हिसाब से बंदे चाहिए। हर टाइम मुझे लेसर क्वालिटी वाले बंदे को हटा देना होगा अगर मैंने ऑलरेडी के वर्कर्स को पिक कर लिया है। सो वी विल मेंटेन व्हाट काइंड ऑफ हीप वी कैन मेंटेन, लेस क्वालिटी वाले बंदे को हटाना है तो सबसे मिनिमम वाला रख लो, सो एक मिन हीप रख सकते हैं। सही लग रहा है? फेयर इनफ गाइस, ठीक है, चलो। अब पहले और दूसरे को पिक किया, लेट्स से चलो पहले, अभी तो पहले को पिक किया, ठीक है। तो पहले को पिक किया तो हम लोगों ने हीप में पहले एलिमेंट को डाल दिया, तो क्वालिटी आ गई 20। चलो, और सम में ऐड कर देते हैं क्वालिटी को, तो 0 + 20 हो गया। फेयर इनफ। अब चेक करेंगे क्या हमने ऑलरेडी केसेस के एलिमेंट चूज कर लिए हैं, नहीं चूज किए हैं। आगे बढ़ते हैं, अगले एलिमेंट को पिक करते हैं। सो नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट को पिक किया, तो क्वालिटी में ऐड किया 5 और क्वालिटी पुश भी कर दी 5। फेयर इनफ। अब चेक करना है क्या हमने एटलीस्ट के एलिमेंट्स को पिक कर लिया है। जी हाँ, कर लिया है। तो अभी तक का आंसर क्या था, अभी तक का आंसर था, अभी मुझे मिनिमम वेज देना है इन्फिनिटी। अब देखते हैं कितना मिनिमम वेज देना है। सो दिस विल बी 20 + 5 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय द वर्कर रेशियो। सो करंट वर्कर का रेशियो। सो करंट वर्कर कौन है, जिसको हमने जस्ट पिक किया है। फेयर इनफ। और इसकी वेज बाय क्वालिटी क्या आ रही है, वेज बाय क्वालिटी आ रहा है 30/5। सो दिस विल बी 20 × 30/5 प्लस 5 × 30/5 विच विल बी 150। ठीक है, अगर दो लोगों को पिक किया तो इतनी कॉस्ट आ रही है। फेयर इनफ। यहां तक का पार्ट सबको क्लियर है। ठीक है, अब नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट पे जाते हैं। नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट की क्वालिटी क्या है, 10। 10 इंसर्ट कर लेते हैं। नाउ यू कैन सी वी वांटेड टू जस्ट हायर 2 पीपल, वी हैव गॉट 3 हेयर। यस और नो, हम लोगों को यहाँ पे 3 मिल गए हैं, तो अब हमें एक रिमूव करना पड़ेगा। सही लग रहा है, वी हैव टू रिमूव वन ऑफ देम। हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू गाइस आर एबल टू एग्री विद दिस, कि अब क्योंकि हमारे पास ऑलरेडी 2 एलिमेंट्स पड़े थे, 2 के बेसिस पे जो बेस्ट आंसर मैं बना सकता था 150, वो मैंने बना लिया है। नाउ वी नीड टू गेट समथिंग बेटर। फेयर इनफ गाइस, से यस और नो, इतनी बात सब लोगों को समझ में आ रही है। ठीक है, तो अब बेटर कैसे बना सकते हैं। अब इस एलिमेंट को हटा देते हैं, 5 को अपना हम लोग हीप में से रिमूव कर सकते हैं। सही लग रहा है, ठीक है। 5 को अगर हम लोगों ने रिमूव कर दिया है, तो लेट्स से अब न्यू एलिमेंट क्या ऐड होगा, अब न्यू क्या ऐड होगा इसमें, किसका रेशियो ऐड होना चाहिए, तुम लोग बताओ। what should be the ratio that should be added, or let's say what should be the quality that should be added। अब नए वाले की क्वालिटी ऐड हो जानी चाहिए, तो सबसे पहले तो 10 ऐड हो जाना चाहिए। सही लग रहा है, ठीक है, क्योंकि 10 क्यों ऐड हो जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि 10 की क्वालिटी हमारी क्वालिटी से बेटर है। जो अभी लास्ट हमारे पास जितने भी था, उसमें जो मिनिमम क्वालिटी थी उसकी क्वालिटी से तो बेटर है। ठीक है, ये ऐड हो गया, और हमने चेक कर लिया कि यार ये तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते, तो हम क्या करेंगे, 5 को रिमूव कर देंगे। विल जस्ट रिमूव 5, राइट। और अब दोबारा आंसर कैलकुलेट करेंगे, तो करंट वर्कर कौन है, करंट वर्कर है ये। सो विल जस्ट गो फॉर 70/10। फेयर इनफ। इज दिस पॉइंट मेकिंग सेंस, 70/10 के हिसाब से जाएंगे। अब 70/10 के हिसाब से तुम लोग पे करोगे, तो पर वर्कर तुम कितना पे कर रहे होगे, अगर 70/10 के रेशियो के हिसाब से अगर हम लोग पे करें, और हमने किस किस को चूज किया है, फर्स्ट को चूज किया है और लास्ट को चूज किया है। सही लग रहा है, तो किस रेट के हिसाब से पे कर रहे होंगे, यू गाइस टेल मी। छोटा सा कैच है यहाँ पे, ठीक है। लास्ट वाले को तो ऑब्वियसली 70/10 के हिसाब से ही पे कर रहे हैं, बट हमने फर्स्ट वाला भी पिक करा है, फर्स्ट वाला भी पिक करा है। इसको किस हिसाब से पे करें, इसको मिनिमम वेज 50 चाहिए, इसको मिनिमम वेज 50 चाहिए। ठीक है, अगर इसको मिनिमम वेज 50 चाहिए, तो इसकी क्वालिटी के हिसाब से हम लोग इसको कितना पे कर रहे होंगे, लेट्स सी। तो 20 प्लस लेट्स से 10, एंड दिस इज 70/10, तो दिस विल बिकम व्हाट, 10 × 70/10 प्लस 20 × 70/10। तो इसको हम लोग 140 पे कर रहे होंगे, और इसको तो हम लोग 70 पे कर रहे होंगे, एंड दैट सीम्स फेयर, एंड दैट सीम्स फेयर। पर हमारी यहाँ पे कॉस्ट बढ़ गई है, पर हमारी यहाँ पे कॉस्ट बढ़ गई है। कितनों को ये बात समझ में आ रही है, वी हैव इंक्रीज द कॉस्ट हेयर। यस और नो, मिनिमम कॉस्ट किसके साथ आती? जब हमने बेसिक एग्जांपल लिया था तो मिनिमम कॉस्ट किसके साथ आ रही थी कि वर्कर जीरो ले लो। वर्कर जीरो कौन था? 70-10 वाला। और वर्कर टू ले लो 35 वाला। अभी हमने कौन सा वर्कर लिया है? 50-20 वाला। तो यहाँ पे क्या ऑप्टिमाइजेशन करें कि इसकी जगह इसको पिक करने लग जाए। अभी तो हमें 210 देना पड़ रहा है, ये काफी ज्यादा है, ये काफी ज्यादा है। 150 में हमारा अभी तक काम चल रहा था, मे बी वी कैन डिक्रीज इट। व्हाट शुड बी द ऑप्टिमाइजेशन दैट वी नीड टू डू? तुम लोग बताओ। अब हमारे पास दिक्कत क्या थी कि हमने हीप में 5 के बेसिस पे इसको निकाल दिया। 5 के बेसिस पे इसको निकाल दिया। व्हाट वी कुड हैव डन बेटर? एनीवन? नहीं रजत, हर बार स्टार्टिंग के एलिमेंट के लिए तो नहीं कर पाओगे ना। यहाँ देखो आंसर इन दोनों को यूज करके बन रहा है। गाइज यू गाइज टेल मी कि कैसे इसकी इसको पिक करें, इसको पिक ना करें। हम लोग हम लोग यहाँ पे क्या कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ क्वालिटी के बेसिस पे निकाल रहे हैं। पर हमें सिर्फ क्वालिटी के बेसिस पे नहीं निकालना चाहिए ना, क्योंकि यार अगर W बाय क्वालिटी का रेशियो शुड बी द डिसाइडिंग फैक्टर। यहाँ पे मैंने हीप में क्वालिटी के बेसिस पे निकाल दिया। तुम यहाँ पे देखोगे तो W बाय क्वालिटी का रेशियो इज कम एंड दिस इज बेटर W बाय क्वालिटी रेशियो। मतलब जितना वेज दे रहे हो पर क्वालिटी, वो ये बेटर दे रहा है, राइट? तो इंस्टेड ऑफ रिमूविंग इट बेस्ड ऑन क्वालिटी, वी शुड रिमूव इट बेस्ड ऑन W बाय क्वालिटी. So what we can say is 50-20, 35 and 70-10. अब inside our heap we will maintain 50 by 20 only, 30 by 5 only, and 70 by 10 only. What is the minimum now? 50 by 20 is minimum, so this should be removed. Yes or no, guys? This one is the one which should be removed. And sum of the qualities is what? 5 plus 10 into 70 by 10, because we'll be paying with this ratio. So 70 into 5 by 10 plus 10 into 70 by 10. This is 70. This is 35, which is 105. Fair enough. So instead of removing it based on quality, we should remove it based on ratio of waste to the quality, because not only quality is the deciding factor. We can have lesser quality people, but we should also pay them less. Or we can have better quality people, but we should still pay them less. So on and so forth. So this is the factor that is maintaining everything. So we should maintain a heap based on this factor. Is this point making sense? Yes or no, guys? Why we were not able to get it using quality only? Because यार इसको अगर ले लेते हैं क्वालिटी के बेसिस पे, तब तो इसको और इसको पिक कर लिया, या फिर इसको और इसको पिक कर लिया। दोनों ही केसेस में 105 से ज्यादा कॉस्ट आ रही है, ये बहुत कॉस्टली पड़ रहा है। क्यों? बिकॉज इसकी जो वेज है और ये जो क्वालिटी है, इसका रेशियो और इसकी जो वेज है इसके क्वालिटी के रेशियो से कम है, राइट? वेज पर क्वालिटी काइंड ऑफ, यू कैन से। इज दिस पॉइंट मेकिंग सेंस? तो हम लोगों ने क्या करा, सम करके इससे मल्टीप्लाई क्यों कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि हमें एटलीस्ट इतनी कॉस्ट तो देनी पड़ेगी, एटलीस्ट इतनी कॉस्ट तो देनी पड़ेगी। अब क्योंकि ये रेशियो इस रेशियो से ज्यादा है, तो ऑब्वियसली इस वाले के लिए तो सेटिस्फाई कर ही रहा होगा, राइट? एंड हीप में हम लोग भी W बाई क्यू के हिसाब से रखेंगे, तो हमारी हीप भी सॉर्टेड मेंटेन रहेगी। इज दिस पॉइंट मेकिंग सेंस? तो बिल्कुल ही प्रीवियस प्रॉब्लम की तरह कोड हो जाएगा, बिल्कुल प्रीवियस प्रॉब्लम की तरह कोड हो जाएगा। फ्रैक्शन की तरह की जगह तुम वर्कर क्लास बना लो, एंड यू कैन मेंटेन टू वेरिएबल्स लाइक वर्कर वेज एंड वर्कर क्वालिटी, और दोबारा से अपने लेस देन ऑपरेटर को ओवरराइड कर लो, एंड यू गाइस कैन गेट द थिंग्स। इज दिस पॉइंट मेकिंग सेंस? दिस वाज अ फेयरली टफ प्रॉब्लम। मतलब इनिशियली बिल्कुल ही स्टार्टिंग से नहीं समझ में आएगा, अगर पहली बार मिल जाए। तो इंट्यूशन ऐसे ही बिल्ड होती है कि सबसे पहले तो देख लो यार कि अगर इस रेशियो के हिसाब से देना है तो दिस इज द सेम थिंग, तो इसके हिसाब से सॉर्ट कर लो और फिर एक एक करके पिक करो। पिक करते टाइम देखो कि हमेशा के ही लोग पिक हो रहे हो, और फिर जैसे ही कोई एक्स्ट्रा पिक हो रहा है तो देखो किसको हटा सकते हैं, तो उसको हटा सकते हैं जिसका ये रेशियो कम है। फेयर इनफ? Shivang, because we have to maintain k elements, we will be removing few of them, we will be adding few of them. So he will be the best case, because हमें हमेशा क्या चाहिए, मिनिमम वेज टू क्वालिटी रेशियो वाला बंदा चाहिए। गगनदीप, दिस विल बी कमिंग फ्रॉम क्वेश्चन ओनली, राइट? क्वेश्चन में ये गिवन है कि यार क्वालिटी 1 बाय क्वालिटी 2 का रेशियो वेज 1 बाय वेज 2 के रेशियो से इस तरीके से रिलेटेड होना चाहिए, तो उससे हम लोग ये डिराइव कर सकते हैं ना, और यहां से इंट्यूशन स्टार्ट होगी। दिस शुड बी द पॉइंट, ये क्वेश्चन का जो ये वाला पार्ट है, दिस विल बी द पॉइंट जहां से क्वेश्चन सॉल्व होना स्टार्ट होगा। अगर तुम ये नहीं डिराइव कर पाए तो बाकी क्वेश्चन सोचने में बहुत टाइम लगेगा, राइट? Considering it is a hard problem, so it should have some difficulties related to it. बट शिवांग, इफ इवन इफ सो, शिवांग कह रहे हैं उसके लिए तो सॉर्ट कर सकते हैं, तो सॉर्ट तो ऑलरेडी कर रहे हैं, बट कभी तुम किसी भी एलिमेंट को हटा सकते हो ना, तुम्हारे पास एन एलिमेंट्स हैं, कोई भी एक हट सकता है बेस्ड ऑन द डब्ल्यू बाई क्यू रेशियो, राइट? तो इस एलिमेंट को अगर डिलीट करोगे तो कैसे डिलीट करोगे? एरे में से अगर डिलीट करोगे तो एन, ओ ऑफ एन में डिलीट कर रहे होगे, यहाँ पे लॉग एन में डिलीट हो जाएगा। फेयर इनफ? शैल वी मूव टू द नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम गाइस? गाइस शैल वी मूव टू द नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम? सही लग रहा है सबको? ठीक है, तो आज हमने दो प्रॉब्लम अभी तक हीप पे कर ली हैं और दूसरी थोड़ी एनालिटिकल भी थी। तीसरी प्रॉब्लम पे आते हैं, देखते हैं सबसे पहले एटलीस्ट कॉन्सेप्ट कौन डिसाइफर कर पाता है कि किस कॉन्सेप्ट पे बेस्ड होगी। ठीक है, तो लेट से कि कैसे फ्रेम कर सकते हैं प्रॉब्लम को कि सीधा डिसाइफर ना हो। लेट मी थिंक कि कैसे प्रॉब्लम को प्रपोज कर सकते हैं कि डायरेक्टली डिसाइफर ना हो कॉन्सेप्ट। ओके, सो यू हैव सम प्लेसेस, right? You have some places connected to each other. Right. Now, the virus infection of COVID-19 is spreading in these places. Right. The virus infection is spreading in these places. Make sense? Some places got infected initially. Right. Some places can get infected initially. Right. Now, for two places which are directly connected, and at least one of them is infected, then other will also get infected. ठीक है, तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है अभी तक कि तुम्हारे पास कुछ स्पॉट्स हैं, कुछ प्लेसेस हैं जो कनेक्टेड है एक दूसरे से, कोविड-19 का वायरस इन्फेक्शन फैलना स्टार्ट हुआ है एंड कुछ स्पॉट्स पे इनिशियली वो प्रेजेंट है। अब मान लो कि अगर कोई दो प्लेसेस एक दूसरे से कनेक्टेड है और वायरस इन्फेक्शन उनमें से किसी एक में ऑलरेडी था तो दूसरे में भी आ जाएगा। मेक सेंस? नाउ if we remove if we remove any one place from the initial infected list, if we remove any one place from the initial infected list, right? कोई भी जो तुम्हारे initially infected places थे उसमें से तुम एक निकाल पाओ, right? किसी मतलब कोई भी एक, मतलब तुम्हारी चॉइस होगी वो कि कौन से स्पॉट को तुम निकालना चाहते हो। तो we will remove any one spot from the initial list. So what you need to do, return the place that if removed will minimize the infection spread. Make sense? Guys, is this problem clear to everyone? What the problem says? So let's say we have some places, right? Let's say we have some places 1, 2, 3, right? We have some places 1, 2, 3, and let's say that initial infected list is uh, 1 and 2. The initial infected list is 1 and 2, that the spot 1 is all initially infected, spot 2 is initially infected. Shivang, I'll tell you, don't worry. This example will decipher that. Right, okay. Now there is a path from 1 to 2, right? There's a path from 1 to 2, and there's a path from 2 to 1 by bidirectional, right? And there is a path from 3 to 1. Fair enough? Make sense? So in this case, what node you should remove to minimize the infection? 1 और 2 में इनिशियली इन्फेक्शन था, किसी एक नोड को हटा दें तो इन्फेक्शन कम हो जाएगा. तो द आंसर विल बी 1. व्हाई? इफ इफ वी कैन रिमूव दिस पर्टिकुलर प्लेस, तो 3 में कभी इन्फेक्शन फैलेगा ही नहीं. 3 विल बी इम्यून, हमेशा सिर्फ 2 में ही इन्फेक्शन रहेगा. बट अगर तुमने 1 की जगह किसी और को हटाया, लेट से तुमने 2 को हटाया, तो भी 3 और 1 दोनों में इन्फेक्शन रहेगा. अगर 3 को हटाया तो भी 1 और 2 दोनों में इन्फेक्शन रहेगा. और 3 को तो हटा ही नहीं सकते क्योंकि वो इनिशियल लिस्ट में नहीं है. इनिशियल लिस्ट में से किसी एक प्लेस को हटाना है. सो यू हैव टू रिटर्न दैट प्लेस which when removed gives you the minimum spread of the virus. Make sense? Kushal, you on the right track? Yes, Rajat, you are on the right track. Think in those terms. You will be given this network. You will be given this network of places. ये तुम्हें given होगा. कैसे करेंगे? कुशल, इतने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, मतलब strongly connected की तरफ मत जाओ, normal से ही सोच लो. Ban says, can we remove two? Bans, if you will remove two, then one is still infected. One is in the infected list, and because of the fact that three is already connected to one, three will also get infected. So there are two infected places. But how about instead of removing two, you removed one? If one is removed, three never gets an infection. Only two has the infection, so it reduces to one. So it makes sense to just remove the place one. Make sense? Not exactly, Saurabh. Kushal, I don't think you need to do that much. It is going to be much simpler. Anyone? Bans, I just explained why not two. Because if you will remove two, 1 and 3 remains infected. But if it will remain 1, 3 never gets the infection and only 2 gets it. Because 2 and 1 are in the initial list. Not exactly, Kushal, because this can be a disconnect. There is no surety that this will be a completely connected graph. No, 2 is not the main cause. The initial causes are both 1 and 2. Initial spots are both 1 and 2, not only 2. Rajat, I don't think distance matters. Guys, distance doesn't matters. जो भी लोग connected हैं वो इन्फेक्ट होंगे ही होंगे, राइट? डिस्टेंस का कोई मैटर नहीं है. तुम्हें ये नहीं देखना कि कौन लेट बाद में इन्फेक्ट हो रहा है. तुम्हें बस ये देखना है कि कोई कनेक्टेड है तो वो इन्फेक्ट होगा ही होगा. तुम किसको हटा दो कि कम से कम लोग इन्फेक्ट हो. राइट? थिंक अबाउट इट गाइस, थिंक अबाउट द प्रॉब्लम. वेरी इंट्यूटिव प्रॉब्लम. I've already explained you few things around these, I guess. No, Kushal, it can be any graph. रजत, ऐसे सोच के बोलो, कोई भी पॉसिबिलिटी मत कहो. ठीक है, कंस्ट्रेंट्स. Saurabh has asked for constraints. Very, very good. So what you can say is, let's say this will be given in the form of a adjacency list, because this is a graph, right? This is a graph. Let's say this is given in the form of an adjacency list. or which has V vertices and E edges. So let's say V and E both are less than or equal to 10 raised per 5. No Kushal, not exactly. No overthinker, not exactly. Gagandeep, you are thinking in right direction, but not completely. You are uh, I would say overthinking a bit, but the direction is correct. The direction is correct. Okay, so let's say this is the connection, right? One is connected to 2, one is connected to 4, 4 is connected to 3, 5 is connected to 6, 6 is connected to 7, 7 is connected to 5. Bidirectional. What should be the answer in this case? MD, I don't think this is the right way to think of, but maybe you can try. Guys, the answer will be 1. Why 1? यार या तो तुम 6 हटा सकते हो या 1 हटा सकते हो. You can either remove 6 or you can remove 1. If you will remove 6, then the infection will not be going to 3 of the nodes. But if you'll remove 1, the infection will not be going to 4 of the nodes. Is this point making sense? Now, how about this case? What should be the answer in this case? What should be the answer in this case, guys? In this case, the answer should be 6. Why? Because if you will remove 6, 3 places will be safe. If you will remove 1, then also 3 is present as an initial infected spot. It will still infect the rest of them. If you will remove 3, 1 is still present to infect rest of them, and you can only remove 1. So 6 makes sense to be removed. Does that make sense? Now, can you visualize the problem? It's a fairly basic one. Okay. So one of the guys are saying that you can do BFS for every infected vertex and store how many of them are given like this, so on and so forth. Okay. So how about the fact that so this initial list is going to store the vertices. So this can also be of size 10 raised per 5, right? Because the vertices can be 10 raised per 5. Do you think you will be able to handle it? Because for every vertex, if we'll run DFS or BFS, we won't be able to do that. Does that make sense, Saurabh? Okay. So the problem is, let me phrase the answer in one single line. Answer will be biggest connected component with only one infected place. Fair enough? Say yes or no, guys. Is this point making sense? Not only complicated, MD BFS won't be even submitted. Now, what you need to do, you need to calculate the connected component. You should have the size of the connected component, then only you will be able to get the biggest, and with any one place. I've already taught you. So Ban says how. So Ban, don't you think, let's say this is one connected component, this is one connected component. If let's say instead of 163, there was only 16. So if you will save this whole connected component, you will save 4 nodes. If you will save this connected component, you will save 3 nodes. So it makes sense to save the bigger component. And if inside the bigger component, there should be only one node that is infecting. If there is more than one node, then you won't be able to save it anyhow. Make sense? Now, I guess in few of the previous live classes, I already told you how to calculate connected components in a very efficient way. DSU. How many of you guys are able to get this point? DSU. Using DSU, you can calculate the connected components. Yes or no, guys? So implement the DSU such that the initial positions are always the parent or the, I would say, leader element, right? And you can prepare a size array as well. So for every leader, you have the size of that component. If for that component, this leader is unique, if for that component, this leader is unique, right, we will return the component with the biggest size. Is this point making sense? Uh, any of that component, Shivang, what do you mean? You have only one component. Are you saying that? Kushal Jha, it's disjoint set union. Any of that component mean what? You don't have any component, then the graph will be empty, no? There will be at least one component. Guys, are you able to get this point? Say yes or no in the chat. How you can solve it using DSU. If you don't know about DSU, you can watch my free live classes. I've taken 3 free live classes on DSU last week. You can definitely check that out. Right. Now, how you can maintain that one component only has one initial element? That can also be maintained by DSU. Right. Yes or no, guys? So you can keep a count array. You can keep a count array. Right. And you can check if these initial nodes, you can check the parent of these initial nodes, and you can just go to count of parent and do plus equal to 1. If for any node the count is greater than 1, then it means that in one connected component there are multiple infected nodes. You can't save that component anyhow. Make sense? Shivang, then answer will be 1, right? Anyone? Rajat, do you know how to use disjoint set union? Yes. Okay, chalo dekhte hain. Cool. Yes, overthinker, all of them are bidirectional, obviously, because I have not drawn any direction, right? So using DSU, we can calculate the connected component and also the size of each component. Can we do that? This is, I guess, fair enough. This is already correct. Now, the only thing we need to maintain is in one connected component, there should not be two infected persons or two infected places. Satyam, just on YouTube and Unacademy. So now what we can do, we can maintain a count array. We can maintain a count array, right? Then we can go one by one in this initial array, right? We can go one by one in this initial array. And what is this count actually storing? This count is storing, let's say, in this component, 4 is the parent element. In this component, 6 is the parent element, right? Or let's say instead of 4, we want, let's say 3 is the parent element. Okay, so who is the parent of 1? 3. So I will go to 3 and do plus plus. So this will be, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 is 1. Now count off. I'll go to parent of 6. Parent of 6 is 6. I will do plus plus. So 1 again. Parent of 3 is 3 again. So this count will become 2. Now this count array shows what? Leaders are 3 and 6 only, but in the component of 3, there are 2 infected elements. Why? Because we were able to increase the count while iterating over this initial element. So we can never consider this component as our answer. Is this point making sense? And the problem is done. Now there is a corner case like this. Let's say you have only one connected component and there are more than one infected cities or more than one infected places. What will be the answer? You cannot save the whole connected component. So answer will be any one place. Either you can save this or you can save this. You won't be able to save the rest of the cities anyhow. Does that make sense? Barnes, which part you were not able to understand? Can you please tell me the part which you were not able to understand? Okay, so this has been previously asked in Amazon and Dropbox. Guys, is the problem clear to everyone? Uh, Satyam, we are not actually removing it from graph. We just say that, okay, just stop the infection here. If we anyhow stop the infection here, do you think you will be able to save rest of the cities? No. Right? Yes, Rajat, you should make them to infected one to make the implementation easy. Okay, so count वाला part एक बारी फिर से देख लेते हैं चलो. लास्ट वाली कर लेते हैं एक बारी, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 कनेक्टेड कंपोनेंट और साइज की प्रॉब्लम छोड़ो, बस ये देखो कि ये जो इनिशियल लिस्ट है 1 6 3, क्या इसमें एक कंपोनेंट में एक से ज्यादा इन्फेक्टेड सिटीज हैं? बस ये सोचो कैसे कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. लेट्स मेंटेन अ काउंट एरे which will count in one connected component how many infected cities are, and one connected component is defined by its leader element. So let's say iska leader है 3, iska leader है 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, you will get to 1. Acha, who is the parent element of 1? Who is the parent element of 1? In the component of 1, the parent element is always 3. So we'll go to 3 and increase the count to 1. Who is the parent element of 6? 6 is the parent element of 6. You will increment the count. Till now, you have got one infected city in the connected component of 3 and one infected city in connected components of 6. Now you'll go to 3. Who is the parent of 3? 3 again. You will increment the count to 2. Now here you can see that who is the leader of this component? 3 only, and it has a count 2. That means the component of 3 has 2 infected cities. We cannot save it. Fair enough? Bans, is this point clear? Shivang, okay. Guys, when I say remove the node, we are not actually like saying just delete it, right? Okay, yeah. Just a second. I guess this makes sense. I guess this makes sense. Yes, yes, yes. I guess this makes sense. So, okay, yeah. So we are actually deleting it. We should actually delete it. So I guess in that case, this should not be the case. We are able to delete it into two different nodes. Make sense? Say yes or no, guys. Yes, Shivang. That makes sense. Cool. Guys, how are the problems? Let me also share the notes with you guys. This is the second class of the micro course. Yes. How that will be, Shivang? Why the algo will be bad? Complexity is working fine, right? This all will be working in log star n complexity. The order of log star n, everything will be there in log star n, isn't it? Guys, let me share the notes as well. Uh, just a second. Guys, just give me 1 minute. I'm uploading the notes. You can construct the DSU in V plus E time, right, Satyam? Because if let's say you are given an adjacency list, you can construct in V plus E time. So I've uploaded the notes. Let me copy the link. Uh, you guys tell me what should be the time complexity. Yeah, Gagandeep, I'm sharing that. Just 1 second. You guys tell me what should be the time complexity. I pinged it in the chat, both at Unacademy as well as on YouTube. Now let's just take the doubts. Okay, so people on Unacademy, please ask your doubts. Kunal, can you like quickly take some doubts from both Unacademy as well as this one? Shivang, I guess in that case, you will just return -1 that this is not possible. I guess this should be the expectation from the problem then, right? You won't be able to save anything. Guys, what should be the time complexity according to you guys? We can prepare the graph in V plus E time if we have been given adjacency list, right? And then after that, what you need to do? If you have prepared the graph, or we can say we just need to prepare the DSU corresponding to that, we just need to iterate over the initial array and get all the things in the count array. That will be like what? V into log star V, right? And apart from that, you just need to keep a size big, size array as well as, yeah, just a size array. So everything will be just like V log star V. This will be the case, right? Fair enough. Guys, is this point clear to everyone? Just drop a yes or no in the chat, both at Unacademy as well as on YouTube. Yes, Bans, I said now V into log star V, right? V into log star V is what? In worst case, the infected cities can be all of the cities, right? Guys, please ask your doubts if you have any. MD, I've already pinged the link. Kunal, can you ping the link again in the chat for the notes? Saurabh, at least we are planning. Rajat, Logstar V, I've already explained it in the DSU microcourse class. It's the complexity for DSU coming from the inverse Ackermann function. You can check that out. Right. Logstar V is the number of steps, the minimum number of steps you need to make in order to reduce V to less than 1 by always taking a binary log. Right. Cool. So, guys, let's just wrap up. I guess we have no more doubts. So, let's just wrap up. And we'll be coming to the next class on Thursday. That will be the third class for this micro course. We'll be discussing more such tough problems that will be relevant for your interviews as well. So, I hope you guys like the lecture and we'll meet in the next session. So, thank you guys. Take care. Bye bye and keep coding.